Bubble Beam bait? Nah, we don't play no Bubble Beam. Bang! There it is. Hydro Pump. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Ox here with another video. If you're new to the channel, we do upload Pokemon Go content mostly related to PvP. And if you're a returning subscriber like KK Wade 618, thank you for the support. In today's video, we are taking a look at the Ultra League Remix Cup. And before we dive into the battles, let me just say this is probably the worst cup idea Niantic has ever come up with, and the main reason for that is because of how inaccessible XL Pokemon are to so many players. And let's be honest, the fact that players below level 40 cannot even get any XL candy is ridiculous in itself. So I think Niantic really messed up, and we're going to be using a triple non-XL team. As you know, on this channel I have 0 XL Pokemon built, so I've yet to use an XL in my own battles, and today's video is no different. We got a pretty spicy team. I think this is pretty spicy. Let me know what you guys think, if this is spiced or not. But we got Shadow Staraptor making its return. A lot of people like that Pokemon. We got Shadow Machamp in the back, probably the most meta and highly ranked for this specific cup. Quite accessible, but still a little bit expensive to build. And Suicune, which is definitely going to be expensive because of that second move, which you definitely are going to want to unlock. And for pretty much any league you use Suicune in, you're going to want that second move just for the additional coverage. Now, this team is by no means a solid team that I recommend using, but it is extremely entertaining to watch and a lot of fun to use as well. These battles take place in the 2900 elo range, so not the highest ranked battles, but still pretty high up there, especially for this kind of spice. So definitely hope you guys enjoy these battles. If you enjoy this type of content, please make sure you smash that like button. It helps the channel grow. Leave a comment in the comments section down below. And without any further ado, let's jump into the first battle right now. Alright, so let's hop into these battles. We got a pretty spicy team today. Definitely do not recommend this team, however, I hope it's entertaining to watch at least. We got Staraptor into Dragonite. This is a horrible lead to see. Pretty much the only answer here is Suicune, so you never want to go into your only hard counter here, but we have no other choice here. The Machamp, as you see, is running Payback. Main reason for that was I was hoping to catch some Deoxys, Jellicent off guard, but Rock Slide's probably the moveset you want, but we'll see how it goes. Suicune here going for the Hydro Pump on Snorlax. Because we got the energy lead, you see right there, it does about 50% of the Snorlax's health. So we could actually win this game because of how late the opponent swapped out here. So we could take back Switch, rather, I should say, not the game. Getting a little carried away there. But we could win back Switch here, going for the Hydro Pump, which should be enough to take out the Snorlax here. And then the main issue here is that even if we win Switch, we don't have a good Pokemon to align onto the Dragonite. So Excadrill comes in. We could bring the Machamp here, but unfortunately Machamp not going to have a great matchup there against the Dragonite. So I'm going to shield up this move right here. Probably going to be a Drill Run coming from the Excadrill. Yes, it is. And the Dragonite's going to come back in. So we're going to build up for the Rock Slide here. Let's go for the Cross Chop. Don't really have another choice. Could go for the Payback, but gotta fake it like you got the Rock Slide here. Gets the shield. And we're going to definitely shield up this second move from the Dragonite right here. Build up to the Rock Slide again and hope that we get the shield here from the opponent. So going for the Cross Chop bait. If we had Rock Slide, I'd go for Rock Slide, but since we don't have it, we have the bait. They call the bait, which is pretty insane. I tried to farm down with the Staraptor before getting hit by this move here. A little bit unfortunate, but I think we'd probably get one shot by Rock Slide anyways coming from the Excadrill, so not optimal. Able to get to this close combat, which is going to get the final shield from the opponent. However, our Machamp is very unlikely to be able to get to the Cross Chop and win this game, especially because the Excadrill could pretty much farm down here to just about 2 Drill Runs, which is going to be enough to, or a Rock Slide and Drill Run in this case, which is going to be enough to take us out. You can see we still got very close in this game, a very difficult lead, and after this loss here, I was questioning whether or not I should even be running this team, but considering how close it was with that bad lead, I decided to keep going with it. Let's hop into match number 2. So we got Staraptor here into a Toxicroak. So I was like, yes, this is a very solid lead right here. We're doing super effective damage with Wing Attack. The Toxicroak doing neutral damage with the counter, but believe it or not, the counter doing neutral damage is actually doing more damage than the super effective Wing Attack. So we have to shield the Sludge Bomb there with KO. Absolutely broken right here. I think this is part of the reason why some Pokemon are so unusable in PvP. The fact that counter does more damage than the super effective Wing Attack, kind of crazy right there. You can see Drifblim, a huge problem for this team. We switch locked ourselves into this matchup, so if the opponent swaps out, we're pretty much done for. But they're staying in, which is really nice because we do not want Machamp locked onto this Drifblim. So going for the Ice Beam there, they let that go through, which was a bit surprising, and we're actually able to get to this Ice Beam here, so I'm totally expecting a shield considering they're pretty low on energy right here. but they decide to let it go instead. So Typhlosion comes in, they're saving both their shields for that. That kind of explains why they didn't swap out into Typhlosion, because obviously Suicune is a pretty good matchup there. Going for the Ice Beam here, I wasn't expecting to get to the Hydro Pump, thought they would throw a move, but they didn't. So now at this point, they could farm up a little bit, throw the Blast Burn here, which will knock us out and still have a lot of energy left over. But they actually go for the Undercharge, which is a very risky play because now Hydro Pump's coming through and you know they're not going to shield this right here. So here it comes. Bang! There it is. Hydro Pump taking out the Typhlosion. Opponent playing very risky right there. Did not work out for them. Suicune showing its worth right now in the Ultra League. I think it's a very underrated pick for the Ultra League. Here's another lead that looks like it's pretty good, but it's actually pretty damn bad because once again, taking more damage. But the opponent swaps out, which is perfect for us. I'm going to go for this close combat here. Let's see if it gets the shield from the Bronzong. They don't have to shield this, which they don't. It's about just over 50% of its health. And we bring in the Suicune here. So at this point, this isn't a great matchup for Suicune. Excuse me, Psyshock. It adds up with the confusions. I should definitely be going for the Hydro Pump right here, but I decided to go for the Ice Beam baits instead. Not really sure why I went for this. Perhaps I thought they were going to shield, but it really doesn't make sense for them to shield. So I think that was a mistake on my part because now, as you can see, they're actually going to be able to take us out. And since it was CMP tie there, I don't want to shield this because if I do, the Ice Beam is going to go towards that Bronzong. So it's really not worth it. Just let it go down. Lose switch coming with the Machamp here. We have two decent answers for the Scrafty, so it's not the worst scenario, but that right there is very bad for us. Crobat. Looks like the opponent is trying to catch perhaps a Rock Slide here, but it's only Cross Chop. We're not running Rock Slides, so works out in our favor. Scrafty here going to go for potentially a foul play. I decided to actually shield this up. That might have been a mistake, but actually in hindsight, well, I mean, it really doesn't matter what I do here because we can't really beat this Golbat. So it just comes down to this team not having an answer for Golbat here. As you can see, Staraptor is going to come back in, but this thing is super, super glassy. Poison Fang going to come through. We shield it up. And this Crobat, extremely spammy. Going to get the Poison Fang off. And that is going to be enough to take out the extremely glassy Staraptor. We get whooped in that game. We're 1-2, looking to bounce back and still go positive in this set. We got Geodude in the next matchup. We're pretty much playing the role of gatekeeper right here with the Staraptor. We got Gengar, so again, another matchup which seems like it's a very good lead for Staraptor, but unfortunately for a Shadow Staraptor, Sludge Bomb from Gengar actually knocks us out. So we have to shield this because if it is a Sludge Bomb, we're pretty much getting KO'd right here. So we do shield that up, call it correctly, and a Snorlax comes in. I'm throwing the close combat here, hoping to get a shield. We don't really need to throw this. I was pretty confident we get the shield, and I come in with the Machamp here. I really wanted to get even on shields after that Gengar got one from us. Gonna take the Body Slam here, and of course we cannot farm down before they get to another Body Slam. So we're gonna over farm to pretty much the limit here before throwing this Cross Chop. Don't really expect them to shield this up here, which they don't. And now the Gengar is probably gonna come back in, look to maybe farm us down. We're not at a Rock Slide, so hopefully we get the shield here, but the opponent makes a great call there. Calling the baits, so they're probably counting right there. Good no shield, or yeah, no shield rather. And we come back in with the Suicune here. So I come into Suicune here because I figured since it's not running Shadow Ball, we could take the Shadow Punch, we could take the Sludge Bombs, and perhaps even farm this down completely. So that was my idea right here. The Gengar is going to go for the Sludge Bomb. It should be drawing energy and trying to farm down completely, which we are able to do. Now we are loaded, so I'm going to go for the Hydro Pump, and you can see it's a fighter in the back. At this point, this is a very common team. The Gengar leads Snorlax safe switch, and that's usually Machamp in the back. That's actually a team I featured in a previous season for Ultra League Premier Cup because I don't have any XLs, and I thought that was a pretty good team. Right there, you saw the Hydro Pump landed. We missed a big bang right there, unfortunately. But Toxicroak Machamp, sort of same idea right there. If you see a Gengar lead Snorlax, you can pretty much expect the fighter in the back. Another, I mean, that lead right there, it's really dependent on whether or not they have Ice Beam. Because the opponent swaps out, I'm assuming that they actually do not have Ice Beam. So feeling pretty good here. Mandibuzz comes back in. This is a horrible matchup actually for Staraptor here, but I'm going to go for the close combat here and then swap out into the Suicune. I could probably just came into Suicune immediately here. He has pretty solid match against Mandibuzz because of the Ice Beam. So Foul Play, see, it really doesn't do anything to Suicune. So I could probably save that energy on the Staraptor, came in here with the Suicune immediately, but instead, we decided to play it this way. We're going to hit by one more Foul Play here. And of course, you saw this just tickles the Suicune, so definitely take that very well. Opponent swaps out into Jellicent. So there's Switch Lock now. Unfortunately for us, we don't have a good answer for Jellicent. So I'm just going to stay in here, throw the Hydro Pump, try to do as much damage as I can, because at this point, these Snarls are pretty much the heaviest hitting move here against Jellicent, which is pretty funny when you think about it. Shadow Ball comes through, knocks us out, and we're going to come in here with the Staraptor. I'm actually going to go for the bait here with the close combat. This is a very risky play because if they don't shield us, we're in trouble, but they do shield. I was pretty confident they would, and you know, they swapped out, so I assume they don't have Ice Beam, but they do. So we get knocked out here coming off the Machamp. And at this point, I'm going to build up to the Rock Slide and then go for the bait. Rock Slide would pretty much threaten the Jellicent at this point, so they do actually shield. That's a huge break for us. I'm going to shield this up right here and then overfarm quite a bit. And the opponent actually swaps out trying to catch the move there. And look at this, we have the payback here. So Jellicent about to get one shot here with a little 4 HP, bang! And there comes the Ninetales. So not what you want to see in the back, especially with this health, but we have an energy lead, we have a shield, we need to sneak in an extra counter right here to have any chance of winning. Cross chop, there's the extra counter. We should be at the cross chop. This should be a CMP tie, and look at that. Cross chop coming through, but is it enough to KO that Ninetales? Cross chop, bang! There it is, Ninetales. Get out of here. We don't want to see that XL Pokemon in this league. 3-2, never been so hyped for a 3-2 in my life. So being completely honest here, I wasn't expecting to go positive with this team. And when we did, I figured we got to play one more set. So another Gengar lead. Again, it's a very tricky matchup because it's pretty good for Staraptor, but we also get one shot by the Sludge Bombs. So it's a tricky spot here. Close combat does nothing to Gengar. I mean, it's still gonna hurt because it's a Gengar, but Sludge Bomb, we call the correct shield right there. And the opponent's staying in, which I was like, it was blowing my mind. Why is he staying in? So I go for the close combat here, and I'm gonna swap out because I don't want no more smoke from this Gengar. Here comes the Suicune, and they bring in a Snorlax. We've seen how this already goes in a previous matchup, and this is a Shadow Snow. That Hydro Pump about to hit hard on all that belly fat right there. So here it comes, the Hydro Pump about to pump it up on this Snorlax. Bang! Never mind, that's a shield. Return bang, and to be honest, I wasn't expecting the shield there, but we'll take it here because I got a Machamp in the back. So Body Slam coming through, I was actually preferring that would KO. Oh no, actually no, I'm not, because we're gonna get to the Hydro Pump right here. So Hydro Pump coming through, that's the bang we were looking for. And we're gonna farm down, but we come in with Machamp, and I don't want to shield anything here. Remember that Gengar is absolutely loaded on energy, so we're gonna take this Body Slam, farm down, and the Gengar is probably gonna come back in, look to throw that Shadow Punch. Probably should have considered swapping onto Staraptor to catch this move since it would be resisted, but it's okay. Once again, like I said, the Gengar lead, Snorlax safe switch, it's a Machamp in the back, and that's one of the problems with teams like this. They're very predictable, and you could play accordingly. So we go for the Brave Bird, knock out the Machamp, Gengar coming back in. We need the shield for this right here, and we're gonna commit to the straight wing attack farm down here, Shadow Punch coming through. There it is, we take that game off to a 1-0 start in set number 2. So that's a team that I actually like seeing. Gengar lead, Snorlax safe switch, because kind of predictable what is in the back. Fighting type, you can play it out accordingly. This is a lead I do not like to see. Alolan Ninetales, one Weather Ball basically destroys Staraptor, so we gotta get out of here immediately. Coming into the Suicune. Suicune, honestly, it's like the glue that holds this team together, because this is a spicy team, and even Suicune itself ranked very poorly for this meta, but it is so good, especially because there aren't really many grass or electric types within the meta. So I think Suicune, very underrated pick, very underappreciated, and people need to start doing more Suicune raids because this thing is a beast. We should survive this right here. Oh, maybe foul play boosted, we won't, but look at that, yes we do. The super tanky Suicune, these aren't even good IVs. Hydro Pump coming through, gets the shield. They want to keep switch. So gonna come in with Machamp here, and my idea is to farm down completely. And are we going to shield this up? No, we're going to let it go through. It's only a power-up punch. Farm down. Ninetales will probably come back in. And we're low on energy, so we could definitely drop a couple of cross shots. It's actually a Jellicent, so you know what that means. They are not expecting the payback. Here it comes, payback coming through. Bang! There it is, Jellicent. Not appreciating the payback right there. And this felt like a bubble beam, but for some reason I decided to shield him. That was a little bit tilting. But here comes the Ninetales. Get off this close combat, which is really big because it might get the shield from the Ninetales. Yes, it does. but unfortunately for us, Weather Ball is going to KO. I decided not to shield here because I fear they will outpace us to the next move anyways. So overkill right there. Coming with Machamp, and basically we need to get to 2 Cross Chops to knock out this Ninetales while still having some health left over to farm down the Jellicent with counters. So not an easy matchup. I think we're actually at the Cross Chop here, and this is where I make a mistake. I shield the Weather Ball, and instead of going for the Cross Chop, I hit another counter, which actually allows 2 Powder Snows to come through somehow, and that extra damage from the Powder Snow actually gives the opponent the advantage there. We lose that game. I was really frustrated after losing that one because I felt like we kind of threw that game. Definitely had the opportunity to win, especially against the lead that difficult. Very disappointing to blow a game like that. But speaking about leads that are either good or bad, hard to tell with Jellicent. I decided to swap out because last time we stayed in, they swapped out. Just decided to swap out. Look at this. It's a Stunfisk, so you know what that means. Bubble Beam bait. Nah, we don't play no Bubble Beam. Bang! There it is. Hydro Pump. Taking out the Stunfisk. They were probably expecting a Bubble Beam there. Maybe an Ice Beam, but Hydro Pump's going to hurt. Taking that Earthquake like a champ. And we're going to get to this Ice Beam right here. So does the opponent want to switch? Or do they just want to take the loss right here? They decide to let the switch go. Come in with the Jellicent. And once again, another situation where the Snarls are pretty much doing the most damage here. Of course, landing this Hydro Pump really helps because we need all the damage we could get on this Jellicent right here. It's building up a lot of energy, but it can't farm us down, of course, so it is going to dump a Shadow Ball right here. That takes out the Suicune. Gonna come back in with the Staraptor. And at this point, we have to respect the Ice Beam. I still have PTSD from that previous Ice Beam, and it's only a Bubble Beam. So that tells us that they do not have Ice Beam, so they need to swap out. And they come in with the Scrafty here. So I was trying to think, should I swap in the Machamp right away? But then I thought, no, you know what? It makes more sense to probably throw the 2 close combats here, get both shields from this Scrafty, and then if we do get both shields, I can easily come in here with the Machamp, farm the Scrafty down completely, and we'll be able to land a payback on that Jellicent, right? So here comes Machamp. You can see the Scrafty has so much health left that we're going to be able to get to this payback. We don't have to shield anything here. Power Punch, Foul Play, nothing's going to KO. Able to farm down completely here. We're at the payback. Rock Slide I don't think would actually KO from this range, but payback definitely will. Here it comes. Bang! There it is. Jellicent catching the smoke right there. And we are off to a pretty good start in this set. Hopping into the next battle, we got Zizurk. And we're going to lead Staraptor into a Crustle. So not the greatest lead to see here. Of course, it is running, I think it's like Rock Throw or Smackdown. I don't know. But we swap out into Suicune here and we get met by a Muck. So Muck definitely runs Thunder Punch here. So it's not stab. It's not the heaviest move. So I decided to let it go through. And you can see it really doesn't do too much damage for an electric type move against a water type. So we let that go through. Hydro Pump though does a lot of damage. The only problem here though is that they are going to outpace us, but sneaking in those extra snarls is definitely going to help. We will survive this Thunder Punch and we're able to get to this Ice Beam. Probably expecting a shield here from the opponent, to be honest, just because they want to maintain switch, which they do. So gonna come in with the Staraptor here. Probably shield up 1 Thunder Punch and look to commit to the complete farm down here. So I'm hoping they really don't get to two Thunder Punches, I should say. And thankfully for us, they do not. So we're loaded on energy here. The Crustle is going to come back in. I was actually thinking maybe I could build up to 2 close combats, but then I realized these Rock Throws are doing way too much damage. So I'm going to throw 1 and then swap out into the Machamp. We get the shield, which is very nice. And here comes the Machamp. At this point, could be an X Scissor, could be a Rock Slide. I think it's a Rock Slide. I don't even know what moves this thing runs, but we do shield it up, and it's an Abomasnow in the back. You love to see it because Cross Chop about to give him the damage. Cross Chop coming through. Bang! There it is. Abomasnow goes down, and that means the Crustle gonna catch the work right here from the Machamp. Unfortunately for us, we need to take care of this with the Machamp because that Staraptor is not going to be able to make it to a close combat. And thankfully, we're able to farm down there. We are 3-1, but can we pull off the 4-1 with the Shadow Staraptor? Suicune sandwich with the Shadow Machamp in the back. Stunfisk lead. Horrible lead for Staraptor, but 2 decent responses in the back. Suicune pretty solid. Machamp very good. And the opponent is staying in, but they tried to catch the move onto Deoxys. So the XL team in full force right here, catching that Hydro Pump. I mean, that still does quite a bit of damage right there. And that energy lead was pretty big. So here comes the move. I was hoping it wasn't Thunderbolts, and thankfully for us, it looks like they are not running Thunderbolts. So this actually becomes a much better matchup for the Suicune here, landing the Ice Beam. I'm actually a little mad that I threw the Ice Beam there because I could have definitely built up for the Hydro Pump, I think, but either way, it doesn't really matter. Going for the Ice Beam right here, this should be enough to take out the Deoxys, which it is, and the opponent comes with Politoed. And at this point, I probably should just swap that immediately into the Staraptor, to be honest. Giving Politoed an energy lead is a huge mistake, and Ice Beam isn't going to be doing anything to it, so I really dislike that play. I think I should just came in immediately with the Staraptor, forced them to swap out into the Stunfisk, and then they would have taken me out. I could have came in with Machamp, got a big energy. They would have to go dry an energy here against these Staraptors, so I think I misplayed that. Yeah, in hindsight, I would have definitely played this a bit differently, but I didn't think the game was over yet. I thought we still have a chance here. Machamp, Shadow Machamp, you know, it really doesn't care what the opponent's Pokemon is in front of it. It's just going to power its way through everything. We try to call the Earthquake there. It's a Rock Slide bait, so very well played by the opponent. They're going to land another Rock Slide, not going to be doing anything here, but if there was an Earthquake that we called, we would have maybe had a chance to win this game still, but I mean, Politoed is way too spam. Like, you're going to see this. It's going to be Weather Ball after Weather Ball after Weather Ball. It's like raining out here. There's no rain in the game, but it is raining Weather Balls right here coming through. Look at that damage as well. Gonna land this Cross Chop right here, and probably even get to a second Cross Chop, but unfortunately for us, that Suicune has no energy, and I don't think there's any win con at this point. So landing the Cross Chop here, gonna come with the Suicune. Maybe if we could get to a Hydro Pump somehow, not gonna happen. Weather Ball coming through, and we're gonna get destroyed in the back. In fact, this thing doesn't even much shut us down. It has another Weather Ball, so we're gonna go 3-2 in this set. But 2 positive sets with this very spicy team. Honestly, can't complain. Pretty happy with the results. So those were the battles with the Shadow Staraptor, the Suicune Safe Switch, and Shadow Machamp in the back. Is this a team I recommend building? Absolutely not. It's a very spicy team, very risky team to use, but I hope it was at least entertaining for you guys to watch. And all 3 of these Pokemon I think do have play. Suicune in particular I think is very underrated, and I hope this video helped showcase its worth in the Ultra League meta. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, commenting, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.